actually, is property seasonal or what's going on? Broker and owner of Remax, Philip Skuman in the studio. Good morning, Philip. How are you doing?
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me as always.
All right, Philip, let's look at the seasons now. Is there any specific periods that you deem the best times to sell property in the country?
Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying I think largely it's area related. But data does suggest from sources like Lightstone and Loom that there is definitely increased buyer and seller activity in summer months, in January, December, January, those kind of months. And there's a couple of factors that come into play. It could be that your obviously your property spends less time on the market, because there's more buyer activity, and there's also a higher chance of you selling at asking price because of the higher buyer activity now, and there's only X amount of properties. It's a supply and demand thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so the summer months obviously have nicer gardens as well. You know, properties appeal better in those months. And traditionally, people usually got salary increases as well in those times. But these days, it's
You guys think of everything to
That's
trap us.
something that I wanted to like chip in with. You guys are just factoring in everything.
You know, there's something that I've seen, and I don't know if I picked this up on YouTube or if it happens in the country. The idea of people styling houses when you go to view. I don't know whether it's just too much work or if it was just some reality TV show that I was watching or whatever. I remembered that when you said the gardens look much nicer and everything. So I was like, okay, do they sort of like style these houses and just prep them up a bit when we come to view and whatnot?
Yeah, I think this has more to do with the weather than people actually going that extra mile.
Okay.
And one must always remember, we're talking about selling at a higher asking price, selling at higher your listing price, and when is the best time to sell. So we've got to consider how big that gap is. Okay. Let me use an example. So let's say your average value of your house would be 1.5. Selling at a high price would be 1,550, and selling at a low price would be 1,450. Okay. The gap's not that big.
Yeah.
And you know, if you consider, okay, so we missed January. So let's say I want to sell my house and I've missed January now, which is the data sources based month. Do I wait till next January? Because then I'm 10 bond payments in at 15 grand each. You know, you see what I'm trying to say? I'm not going to achieve that growth, that 180,000 more that I've paid for the house. I'm not going to achieve that in sales value. There we got to look at greater economic trends, interest rates, inflation rates. I think the caveat is it always comes down to the buyer or the seller's personal situation in that time. People also move because of, you know, the kids leaving the house. Now they need to downgrade. You know, they need to move to a new school. The kids are going to a school in Joburg. So these trends also play a big effect, and that's more personal. That's less to do with the month or the next time to sell, which is the topic. I think at the end of the day, you've got to look at what your personal scenario is, and how that will affect your decisions. You know, you
Never
might decide
mind,
to take. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I think never mind January being, according to data, being a month that would be most beneficial for you to sell.
Yeah, it's not, it's less. Yes, there are factors, and yes, definitely. But the average house spends 6 months on the market anyway,
Okay.
you know, because of higher listing prices. So, yes, if you break it down, and the figures do show that, but if you were unreasonable to start with your asking price, or if you are a buyer expecting something unrealistic because you've watched too many TikTok videos, you know, so we've got to bring reality into this. And I think the big thing, like I said earlier, the gap is probably 100K on a 1.5. You know, and it's a lot, but that same gap exists on a 2.2 million rand, 2.5 million rand house. It's not like you're going to be wealthy because you waited for Jan. And it's not like you're going to be broke now because you didn't, you know, hit the January mark. There are definitely trends that show, but like I said, there are some articles that also show April, May, because of now salary increases, budget surety. I mean, yesterday the budget got approved. I don't know if you saw last night.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
we
course,
did,
of course.
Well, this brings budget unsurety for us.
Yeah.
Because we just learned that our taxes went up, or our VAT went up.
Mm.
So, that might definitely also now make shifts and trends in the market. So we'll still see what that delivers.
All right.
Personally, I think it's obviously going to affect everyone's bottom line in the household. So, it's going to affect property prices in terms of not achieving asking price and buyers' affordability as well. You'll find that now, because of the increased pressure, the affordability dips.
So I mean, let's just stay a bit on that as well. So I mean, this is going to be a normal reality. We're waiting for the 1st of May, if that's when it's going to actually kick in for this year, and then of course into the new year as well. In the property space, I mean, so you've just mentioned a bit in terms of the some of the changes that we can anticipate. Maybe let's zoom in on the household, because at the end of the day, it goes down to the normal South African who's going to be affected.
Yeah. So, well, obviously the bottom, it's the vast majority of the market are salary earners, and they are going to now struggle more to pay their bond, and they might be forced to sell.
Sure.
Okay. Because the budget now doesn't tick anymore. I would always suggest don't sell your property because you are in a tight squeeze. Change your car, drive a Golf, or
Go hungry, as you
go
say.
hungry, yeah. Don't ever, because of market pressures, put your house on the market, because the prices tend and trend to always go up. I haven't seen prices drop. I see them stagnate because of economic conditions. There is no growth, and that's probably been prevalent in the last 10 years because we've been under extreme pressure from external economic factors. So, yeah, I think change your budget, play around with your own internal expenses and incomes, and that is at the end of the day the best time to make the decision, is when it's personally suitable for you. Yes, now you're going to ride the wave because you might find, hey, we need to sell, and by the way, it's January next month, so it's the best time to list because of data. But if you look at 100 transactions in this deeds office, in Polokwane deeds office, okay, you might find that there's only 105 registrations in January. Okay, so that's 5 more. So that's 5% growth. Is that really going to affect you? Are you number 6 out of 100? You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
and then it's still going to be maybe 100K difference. There's only less chance of you actually receiving a lower offer. But the general trend is that people overprice their property to begin with. Doesn't matter what month it is.
All right, we'll leave it here for today, Philip. Thank you so much. Philip Schoeman, broker and owner of Remax.
Thanks, guys.